Welcome to the Unlocking Senior Resources podcast by Leave the Key. I'm Larry Wagner, and I've spent 30 years working with seniors, where I was a certified senior advisor, and the last 15 years in the home buying industry as a certified senior transition specialist, where I specialize in dealing with seniors going through a transition in their lives. This podcast is for seniors, those with seniors they love, and people who work in the senior community. In each episode, we bring on a guest who works to improve the lives of seniors. This podcast is your key to unlocking senior resources. Hello. Today we're here with Andrea Martone from Moves for Seniors. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, thanks.
Well, welcome. And let's sort of get right into this. I have a question for you. So Moves for Seniors, before we talk about the company, let's talk about you for a moment. How did you get into this industry dealing with seniors?
So I've always been really close with both my grandmothers. I had a very good relationship with them. Even amongst the family, they would have me go and speak with them and work with them. I used to have lunch every day with my grandmother on my lunch break from work, where I worked for 10 years. And then while I was getting married, buying a house, we needed a little more money. I wasn't making a ton of money. So I took on this extra part-time job working for, it was actually my fourth grade teacher. My dad is a contractor and he was doing work for her. Her husband had just died and she needed help with her, all her paperwork, paying bills, real estate. She had real estate in the Hamptons. She worked on several environmental committees. She just had too much for her to manage, and that wasn't her thing. She's a doer, not a behind the scenes person.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, I have staff for that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the staff.
Yeah.
So I worked with her for 18 years, all through having kids and being a stay-at-home mom. It was a great job, and I got to know her really well and watch her age and go through rheumatoid arthritis, the diagnosis. And she used to run in a house when I would be at her house, and then at the end, I was pushing her in a wheelchair. And between her and also my grandmother, who I had such a long-term relationship with, too, watching her age and eventually pass last year at 99.
Wow.
So I feel like, and people have always told me, you're really good with the elderly.
Right.
And I just see something beautiful in all of them. We're all going to be there one day.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky, yeah. And you just don't want to be forgotten and put in the corner. And, you know, your opinion matters. You have a lifetime of experience. So I love learning about what they've been through.
Correct. The experiences they've had are so different. I mean, I'm a senior at 66, but not the same kind of senior as 99.
Yeah.
And the experience they had is so different that we've had. I mean, growing up in America in the 60s and 70s till now, it's very different.
Very different.
We've had really no hardships like no World War IIs and things of that nature. So, so they bring to the table a lot of life experiences.
Yeah.
I work with seniors almost exclusively, and I appreciate everything you're saying 100%. I love sitting down and just chatting.
And I feel like already I'm 44 years old, but every year you get a little older, you learn so much more and you like mature in another way. I never thought I would get to like this view of life already. Like I can't imagine what it looks like in your 90s. That's
right. I agree with that. Although it does come with its aches and pains, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I know about your back. Yeah.
Right. And I'm dealing with my wife's parents and so on. And there's a lot when you get older. That's why I can. So we'll leave it at that. But let's talk about Moves for Seniors.
Yes.
So what exactly does Moves for Seniors do?
So we provide local, right now is what I'm promoting, local and long distance moves. We have a national network around the country, 48 states that we can service for long distance moves.
I'm going to guess which two you don't service. Just to let you guess, right?
You just guessed. This company actually started off as a specialty shipping company. So they had this large network, different ways to move items around the country. I'm going to name some just for interest. Grandfather clocks, pianos, artwork, sculptures, golf carts, cars. And they've worked in several different industries within that. So long distance moves was like the next part that the company got into, and now into this senior space where are smaller moves that not all movers always want to take on.
Right.
And within that, we can help the seniors with their downsizing, packing, the move, and unpacking.
So question is, moving seniors have unique differences from moving 40-year-olds?
That's a great question. Yes, usually, most of the moves that I've done so far since I've been with the company are into assisted livings.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much what I've done so far, and they're not taking their whole house of
Right. They're
items.
downsizing for sure.
Yeah, there's sometimes a 1-bedroom, at most a 2-bedroom,
Right.
sometimes a studio. And what I've seen is like a dresser, a bed. I mean, I don't have to name it all here,
Right.
and tables, but it's
Right.
not like a huge amount of furniture.
Right.
So we can kind of like estimate how much that will cost, how long that will take, how many boxes a closet's going to take, and then we can get them pricing.
Right. I see. So you're right. You're right. As a 40-year-old, you probably have children at home. You're moving their bicycles and their this and everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
I moved in my house I was 33. I moved 33 years ago. And yeah, we filled an entire 40-foot trailer, and even the little space in the bottom with a 40-foot, whatever size they are, we filled the entire moving truck to go from Plainview to Huntington, 10 minutes away.
Wow.
And it filled every inch of that truck. And I know then we moved my in-laws into independent living, or my parents into independent living, and it was nothing. We could have done it ourselves.
Right.
So,
yeah. A lot of people want to do it themselves. And I hear that in like the assisted living communities or other referral
Right.
sources. But I think it's one of those things after you've done it, you're like,
Right.
I really should have asked for help.
Yes.
Now I hurt my back. Or,
Right.
there's little intricacies you don't realize how long
Right.
it's going to take.
My advice, hire moves for seniors. I didn't do it myself. We hired somebody both times. And I was so thankful I didn't do it myself.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I know we helped part of moving. We did some moving my parents out, and some we hired a mover. Well, after they passed, we had to clean the place out. And just the part we did was just so much work. Everything's so heavy.
Yeah.
You don't realize how heavy furniture is.
And when you see these big movers come
Yes.
in, these big men, they just lift it up with their pinky.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, we did heavier stuff yesterday.
Yeah, little 5'3" Larry is not designed to do that for a living.
Neither is 5-foot Andrea.
There's 5'8" Andrea. So we're designed to talk to seniors, not move their stuff.
Exactly.
We all have our place, and we have to know it. So is there so I have a question. Do the movers not dealing so much with the seniors, you're dealing with the seniors.
Correct. Good
and that's
point.
the difference. You become the liaison, if you will, between the non 5'3" and 5-foot movers and the seniors.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a high level customer service that we provide in this company. So there sometimes is a lot of coordination that has to take place. I recently had to move from Massachusetts to the city, like assisted living in the city.
Right.
When the movers got there, New York City was inspecting the elevators.
Oh, gosh.
And we only had a 2-hour window to move this woman in, who was very nervous as it was.
The place gave you the limit? The window?
Yeah, they only gave two 2-hour windows, and we were trying to do it in one because we had someone coming to unpack her.
Right.
So anyway, it just caused a lot of confusion, but I was there behind the scenes calling and arranging for her. So that made it smoother.
Right. Yes. The last thing they want to do is deal with problems.
It's
especially moving it to any level of facility, whether it's independent or a nursing home. It's so traumatic already.
It is. It sure is.
Right. And movers, they're not delicate. And I'm not talking about with their items, but with their emotions and with the people they're moving.
Ours are, though.
Yours are?
Literally, all the moves that I've done, I get a message from the people we've moved, the client, or like their daughter, or influencers, we call them, saying that they were so kind, they were so lovely. And
Really?
I wasn't even asking that yet. I was waiting to.
Unprovoked. That's the real opinion. Oh, that's nice to hear. I'll leave it at that. That's nice to hear. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, that's not what I would have expected. Maybe from your folks, I might have, but generally as an industry,
I understand.
They're there just to wrap stuff up, get in the truck.
Yeah.
My son and his girlfriend moved their stuff from Manhattan to Long Island before they moved out altogether, and the movers it was just about time.
Yeah.
There was no sense of personality, just back and forth, and.
Were they taking more time to charge more?
No, they were moving fast.
They were going too
very fast.
But maybe they were trying to get to another job.
I think so. And there was just no sense of, I was one orchestrating at the receiving end, my son and his girlfriend at the packing end, and I was here on Long Island, the receiving end. And they just, I don't say they didn't care. They put everything carefully and whatnot, but it was not where would you like this? Wherever they found a fit is where they stuck it. This was just going to storage in someone's basement.
Yeah.
Not mine, thank God. And but they just pile things way higher than they should have. I mean, they didn't care. It was just unload the truck and as you had moved to the next job.
And the thing with moving is you do it so infrequently
Yes.
that you like learn after. Like I should have paid a little more money. I should have interviewed. I should have asked these questions. I should have instructed them where to put it. But you don't know until that's over.
So what, besides the things you said, so if they're if they're interviewing movers, now they're calling you because you bring something to the table that if they just call ABC Mover, allied movers, they're not going to get something they're going to get from Andrea, right? So what's the difference between you and, I don't know if the allied mover still exists anymore, but that's just like a name.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They're
Okay.
a national brand.
Okay.
Well, there's two aspects to that question. So for like a local move, the coordination, like if you're going into an assisted living, what the building wants, what times can you use it, where can you unload, what's in the house that you can unload, or through what door. All this stuff takes time. I just did a job that they didn't have elevators in their building, and that added on a ton of time. Right. So you have to have a way to estimate all of that, and you kind of have to trust who is giving you their quote. Does that answer the question? It does. Long distance moves, that's something else I wanted to bring up. We have like different levels of service that we can move someone. Not all the companies can. They have like one way to do it. They'll give you probably a whole truck. Right. Since we have the shipping part of our company, we can move things slowly and cheaply or fast, like with a dedicated truck. And it's a little, it's not more expensive, but there's a price associated with it. Yeah. So those are some interesting aspects. But
that's they have options.
With also the long distance moves, some of it goes by weight. Right. And with our moves here, we kind of do it by hours. We're
that's
estimating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought moves went by volume more than weight. They go by weight.
We do estimate volume too, because it does help us like gauge. Right. This is for the local moves. Again, those are smaller, so it's not moving a whole house. We try to use that as another estimating tool for how long it will take. Right.
I've seen people on estimators. Is it a 1-bedroom house, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? Yeah. They just assume how much they need based on the size of your house.
And with the moves that I do, I usually go in and assess with the family what they have. And we have a technology on my phone. It's an AI technology that sees everything in the room and it weighs it and measures it. So it gives a summary at the end of the weight, the box count, what boxes you'll need. It's pretty accurate. It's That's not perfect.
Amazing. So you're just taking your phone and scanning the apartment?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I talk through it. So then my operations team will, note anything. We're not taking that dresser. We are taking this end table.
Next question. Yeah. We're not taking the piano, so it's not going to count the piano.
Exactly.
Wow. No, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know like roofing companies now will price roofs just by satellite views. They don't come to the house all the time anymore. They can measure for satellite. Solar, same thing. Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. But right from your cell phone.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Easy
do
peasy.
you ever make a phone call on your cell phone or use for everything else? Right.
You're right. I know. That's so true. Actually, I don't even like when I get a call.
That's it. I like when I use my AI.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So question for you. I'm looking to hire someone to move my parents into a facility. I'm going to start looking for the right person. What's going to bring me to you? How do I find you? I'm going to find you on the internet, clearly.
Yes.
What am I looking for?
You're looking for, you need to tell your mover and be sure about what you're bringing. Right. Most people aren't always sure when they come to me. And that's really the only way I can give them pricing. Right. So that's an important part to know. Right. And what will fit. If they don't know, we can do space planning for them. Also, the assisted living can kind of guide them in what people bring. Some of the assisted livings provide furniture. New York State requires that the assisted living provide. They don't have to take it, but they can offer it. I think it's like a bed and end table, a chair, one or two other things, a dresser.
Right.
Yeah.
The basics.
Yeah.
Right. I did not know that.
Yeah. Huh. And then with me, it's a free consultation. Go to the home or on the phone. I've done it through videos or pictures, and then I can assess and give them pricing options.
Right. Yeah, we bought houses through videos. People just walk to the house and I'll make an offer based on the phone video. That's Larry I.
Yeah. Well, you know what you're doing at this point, what you're looking at.
Oh, Larry I was still being funny. But so with that said, so you go to someone's home. So I'm calling you. I say, I want you to go to my parents' house at 123 Main Street. You walk in the door. You're going to sit down with them. I assume you have a gentle hand because they're going through an emotional time. Then
Yeah.
And now they give you the tour of the house. They talk way longer than necessary, telling you about World War II, like we said before, or something, because that has a lot to do with the move. And they're pointing out what they want, and right then and there, you give them an estimate.
Okay. No. I take it all back to my operations team to work on it. They have a ton of experience with pricing moves, so they estimate like how long it will take.
That's better.
Yeah,
so it's a more accurate number.
I'm the face.
You're the face of the company. There
exactly.
You go.
I'm gathering information. I'm on the road. So I have them in the office taking care of everything else.
Oh, very good. Okay. And how long does it take? So I call you. You go to my folks' house. Call you on Saturday, on Monday. You're there on Tuesday. When do you get the quote? Hopefully
same day, but sometimes it takes another day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by Wednesday, they would have the quote.
I get all my calls come on Friday at like 4. I got 3 on Friday. The phone was quiet all week. I got 3 Friday at 4. Some of them have to wait till Monday, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right. Friday at 4, the staff is not in doing estimates all weekend?
Yeah.
Right. There you go. You may be, but they're not. Okay. Do you see people on weekends?
No? I could.
You could.
I do have a family, but I would do it. I would do it if it's needed. Yeah.
Okay. And so Monday, Tuesday, now Wednesday, I have my price to say, okay, let's go. How long before you typically, I'm sure it varies how busy you are. How long typically does it take before you're available?
So when we are pricing the move, we see if the date's available that they want.
Oh, so I'm giving you a date so you know.
Yeah, it's more involved than just getting the price because you're contacting the movers and making sure the price that they want. Like it all has to be in place as if we were going to pull the trigger to do it.
I see.
I have done some within the same week. I did one. I mean, this was a quick job. Was in 1 hour. They called. Can you come and move a few things? I'm like, okay, we'll do it, and it worked out. They were available. So it would happen. So we're pretty good with the quick turnarounds.
That's you can't argue within an hour.
Yeah, I would say like a week and a half is like a good lead time. But
okay, so I'm not giving you a month's notice. That's not necessary. That's
for long distance. We do need a little more notice
because if you want to consolidate to save the money.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, there's consolidating or a dedicated truck. There's a few different other options along the way. There's crating. I couldn't speak on all that just yet. I'm too new.
Right.
But yeah, they for that we would have different options and different timelines.
Right. Okay. So now with the moves your company is doing for the moves for seniors specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Is it mostly local moves?
Yeah.
I think seniors.
Actually, no, I should say I've done a few now long distance that are moving mom and dad who are in Florida back to Long Island.
Oh, yes.
Because they need to be close to their family. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Unfortunately.
Seniors moving back to New York. That's a new one. Right. They moved too early. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, when I first heard that, I'm like, are you sure? But I hear it all the time. Every community I go into.
Right.
Not just Florida, but all of Florida.
There you go. That's where we all went.
Yeah.
So that's where we're all coming back from. Out of the moves you do, are they mostly to facilities or are they sometimes to apartments, to kids' homes? I mean,
I think there was only one that I did from apartment to apartment. Most of them are to a facility, but that's also our focus right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Especially moves for seniors.
Yeah.
That's typically where we go.
We have another branch called the concierge move. So we can move anyone anywhere.
Right.
I'm actually moving a neighbor.
Right.
Her whole house. Like we can do that too. We can price that all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a traditional moving company in addition to
with all these other services, which is coordinating the packing if they need it, and unpacking and downsizing if they want to take care and clean out their house.
Right. The unpacking is huge because once they get their stuff there in some boxes, they don't have the ability necessarily to move it to independent, to assisted living especially, to unpack. Again, they're overwhelmed moving in.
It's a lot also in one day. Yeah. And typically I would like it all to be in one day, but sometimes it's just too much for the senior to have it all done.
Hi, I'm Larry.
And I'm Ben. We're the father and son team of Leave the Key Home Buyers, and we want to buy your house.
We specialize in working with seniors who are transitioning out of their homes, and we understand what you were going through.
So if you're considering selling your home and would like an alternative to the traditional overwhelming process, reach out and see how we can help.
Do you have an outdated home?
No need to update anything.
Have a home that needs repairs?
Don't bother with repairs.
Don't want to take everything with you?
Leave whatever you want behind.
Dreading the headaches that come with agents?
Sell your home without paying a commission.
Dreading prying neighbors attending open houses and passing judgment on your home?
No need for public showings.
When you sell to us, you'll have all the certainty of closing on your timeline, not someone else's, and there's absolutely no pressure.
Visit leavethekey.com or call us today for a no-obligation offer at 631-388-7771 if you want to sell your home today.
The unpacking tool, I really never thought so hard about the boxes themselves for unpacking. You could be left with 20 boxes after you unpack, and are you able to break that down?
Right.
So that's part of the service of unpacking is breaking down boxes.
Oh, that's important. Because I know with my in-laws, we had a ton of boxes because we put boxes, did a lot of stuff when they moved in boxes, and we systematically unpacked them for them. And every time we went, we'd unpack 5, 6, 7 boxes, and they left a pile of 5, 6, 7 boxes. And we'd have to we'd have to break them down. But the boxes took up so much room in the apartment for way too long.
You just needed to get it done.
We need to get it done, but they needed to do it at their pace. And sometimes their pace is not our pace.
Yeah.
And it took too long, but it was done, and the place came out beautifully. But yeah, it's a lot.
We also have a higher level service called Resettling, which is with a professional organizer, and they will put everything away in the drawers and hang the pictures, make the bed. Make it like home on that first or second day.
Wow. Okay. Put the clothes in the drawers.
Yeah.
That's detailed.
Yeah.
When I fold my socks, I fold with the heel to the left, by the way. So if they come to mine, they have to know.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I'm very anal retentive that way, yes.
Are all your drawers like that?
Yeah,
like
I don't
really
have any
neatly?
drawers. They're all shelves.
Shelves.
They all I like to see everything I have. So it has to be perfectly organized.
But still, to keep that beautifully folded.
Everything is folded over a folding board. Everything's exactly the same size.
That's like my husband. I'm a very organized person, but not with the folding. I can't take it.
My wife washes, I fold.
Yeah.
But my wife said, you have to know your place.
Yeah.
See, that's her place and my place. She washes, I fold. And you have to know your place when you're moving. Are you going to be the one lifting the boxes, or the one emptying the box, the one putting the socks in the drawer? There's many stages to all the things we do. And so the question is, what role do you want to take as a senior or as the family members of seniors? And we tend to do more than we should as someone who had parents until recently, and my wife was both her folks. We tend to feel responsible for doing things. Like, we don't want to hire people to do the move because you feel it's our job.
There's like guilt involved in that.
Huge.
That you feel like you should be there.
Right. Yeah. And you need to be there to help them get the job done. You don't need to be there to do the job.
Physically do it.
And it took a lot for me to understand that.
But is that generational, though, that your parent would have done that for their parent?
Correct.
They didn't have any other options. So I feel like my parents, my dad would expect that I would help, and I'd want to as much as I could.
Right. But our kids won't.
Not at all.
Our kids won't.
They'll have an app on their phone that takes care of it.
That's it. Nap directly, seniors, right?
Yeah.
But funny when my kids were young, my daughter's maybe 7 years old, my son maybe 10. He said, "Mom, Dad, when you get old, I'll support you, and Hannah will take care of you." Right? Aww. Once again, they know their place.
They know their place and what their strengths are.
I think at this age, I don't think it's changed. They both know it. They both have their own personalities. But you're right. It's a generational thing, and our kids will not feel the need to pack boxes for us. But I felt the need to do it for my folks. And but I just got smart enough with the back issues not to actually move the furniture more than necessary. But we did actually. I'm thinking we did move my in-laws. We didn't move my parents. So I did one of each. That's why we're unpacking all the boxes of my in-laws.
But you're also trying to soften the move for them and like make them feel at ease that not a stranger is coming to do this. So I understand why that you would take that approach.
See, my in-laws were self-sufficient and packed their own boxes. My parents, we had to do a lot of packing, but we hired a moving company. And their furniture was way heavier. I know I built it. It was way heavier. So, a big moral is, don't feel you have to do it with your folks. Just help coordinate your folks if they need the help. So you guys do the concierge move. You do the move for seniors. You move specific items. You do crating. It seems like if somebody calls, so if I'm a senior and I call you, but I have unique items. Let's assume I have that grandfather clock, which my in-laws did. Do you have the ability to move that better than other people because it's your expertise is moving things like that?
Yes.
So, because that matters. Those are really delicate. And
there's only certain carriers that we can work with.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Pianos too. A move I'm doing right now, we wanted to give them, a few different services, but we could only do a certain one that could handle that.
Right. So
it's not about the weight; it's about the delicate nature of those items. Yeah,
absolutely. Also, things like a piano, you probably have to take. Let's say it's a baby grand piano, you have to take it apart. I met you probably taking legs off.
And I haven't been on one of these yet.
Yeah, guess I'm not sure how. I don't know. I guess they might fit through a door. That's where my mind's going.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall. They're taller than 30 inches, taller than a table. Yeah, they wouldn't fit through a door. And you probably take the legs off.
It got in there somehow.
Maybe without legs, and they put the legs on after. Who knows? But with that said, yes. So you do need specialists. I never thought about a specialty mover for a piano or a specialty mover for a grandfather clock.
Like I said, artwork, sculptures. We have. I said it to an attorney I met with the other day about. I mentioned golf cart, and he's like, "Whoa, you do golf carts? I have one upstate that I need to get here, and I was going to buy a trailer." I'm like, and he has a tractor too. I'm like, just let me know. I'll give you a price.
Right. Moving golf carts. Okay. I guess
you never think of that. You can't have it on the highway.
Right. You can't have it on the highway.
Upstate.
Yeah. I'd be the crazy one who would trail it. Yeah. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I know my son moved to Virginia and for 6 months for an internship, and we packed everything in a U-Haul and drove it down there. But it was just one kid sharing an apartment. So, we didn't need movers. But yeah, so as far as the question, I always ask people, this is a very human business. Is there a specific story, specific person you dealt with that sort of resonates? Someone you sort of developed rapport with, someone who really appreciated you more than others, things of that nature?
There is a very small move I did a few weeks ago from Freeport. And I went to visit the man. He didn't have a lot. He had packed up a lot already and gotten rid of some. But I could see he was having trouble moving and ambulating in his apartment. And he did move in with a friend while he's waiting to find another apartment. I went to a networking group. It was actually Sun Suffolk.
Oh, sure.
And they had, I'm going to screw up the name. I think it's United Health Way. I could be wrong. But they do home modifications. New York State actually pays for it through the HUD funding. I'm saying this right. So they will do home modifications within 6 weeks, certain items, not a ton, grab bars. They'll do ramps.
Right. Will they do lifts? Like stair lifts?
Not lifts. No, that's like way beyond their scope. And that's way too expensive. But just from going to networking and being in this space, I took all the information and mailed it to him.
Right.
I just thought when he gets to his next place, he'll need that. I could just hear how he moved and he was holding onto the wall, that he could use that help. Yeah. So that was a nice, and he enjoyed that. He thanked me for that.
Right.
He's going to be moving again, so he will probably use my service. Right. Because I did go that extra step, but I wanted to. I could just see he needed it.
Right. It becomes, because in our business we buy houses, from senior citizens who people who you would move, because they tend not be in great condition. I say not ready for prime time. The term I always use: orange shed carpet and dark wood paneling, and it's so interesting that when we sit down and have a discussion, meet the senior in their home, we could be there for an hour and it's maybe 10 minutes about the house, another 50 minutes about them. They're asking about me. Yeah. Because they're interested in everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm always interested in them. And it's such a nice, pleasant time. I really enjoy spending time with them. And sometimes I'll deal with the seniors' kids who are more my generation. That's a very different conversation. It's not as warm and fuzzy, if you will. You have to like working with seniors.
And the slower pace with them, they didn't have the iPhones. They didn't have all the technology and the speed that we have. They are more grounding to me and make me feel like it's a meditation being with them, which is, it's sad that it feels that way. Right. But it's true. Yeah. They have one thing to focus on, and that's you and the conversation with you.
That's a good way of putting it. They're really focused on you.
Yeah.
They don't have the 18 things going on in the world around them.
And not that they never did. They were busy people too. But I just feel like I'm spinning all the time.
Yes. And they don't. I never thought about it that way. Right. They have less going on in their lives than we do as working people with parents. I'm a parent, a grandparent, a son-in-law, and sibling. And I have a lot of activity going on. Plus I'm working and volunteering, and they don't have all that. And it's so much easier. So they get to focus. That really explains it. There's less going on up there. Not because they don't have the capacity. They just have less stuff going in.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really enough. Like, and we really should all be at that pace.
That's what meditation's for.
Yeah. Here we go.
It's to be like a senior for a few minutes every day. Interesting. But I've 30 years as a financial advisor. I dealt with retirees. So all my clients were seniors. And it was such a delightful 30 years, and on my 17th year in the home buying business, and such delightful 17 years. And they're a great group of people to work with, without a doubt. So, but I said, it takes a special person. There are people that don't have the patience.
Mm-hmm.
In my business, I know there are people that want to be in and out of a house in 10 minutes. They want to look at the house, take an inventory, if you will, of the condition and walk out, get back with a price. That's
not going to fly.
That's not what they want.
Yeah.
They want rapport. They want relationship. They want to know you're a good person. They want to like you.
Yeah.
And I only do business with people I like, at least when I hire them. And maybe not by the time we're done, but to me, that's way more important than price. Everything. I want to work with people I like. I like to hire people I like. I like to engage people in my personal life with people I like. Why create more stress?
I feel the same way. And I like connecting people.
Yep.
Through all this networking, I love if I can say, well, call this person, they can help you.
That's how you and I met. We're both members of GPNY. And it's a senior group, with people like you and I networking, so we can cross-refer.
Mm-hmm.
I refer people constantly. The purpose of this podcast, all the people I'm interviewing at the beginning are people from GPNY.
Yeah.
These are my peeps. They're part of the organization I'm part of. And so with that in mind, we're giant Rolodexes. We're human-sized Rolodexes. Well, we're one card in our Rolodex.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. So when people call you and call me, we have so much more than just a house buying company. We'll take care of the same thing like you. We'll refer people like you. We'll refer to people who'll set them up in a new place, who will paint it or renovate it. If they
What about the girl that has the blister packs of like medication already?
Right.
Like ironed out for you. Right. I could have so used that for the woman that I work for.
Yes.
Do you know about that company?
Yes, I
Avanti
do.
Health, I think.
Yes.
I just was listening to her last time. Like, I needed you.
Yes.
Everything is there. Like with seniors, you just need to look and ask the right people.
Without that, well, if you think again, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and there wasn't a lot of things available. Mom cooked, right? Then they came up with TV dinners like in the 60s. That was a cool thing. We never had one. It was a cool thing. But it was the rarity of going out to dinner at a restaurant. It was a once a week, once a month, once every 2 month activity. Now it's 3 times a week with your family.
Yeah.
And those didn't exist. It didn't do that stuff. And so again, that's what our parents are doers and stuff. But today life is so much easier. So much easier. Like I said, the blister packs. In the old days, you had to open easy to open medicine cabinets, pill bottles. And I have the heart to open pill bottles. And by the way, my father-in-law just got through the VA his new batteries, a new packaging for batteries for his hearing aids, which you have to replace batteries every 2-3 days.
Yes.
You need a scissor to cut out the batteries.
Oh.
So you want to give a senior a scissor on this little thing to start cutting these little... That's crazy.
My grandma always insisted doing it herself. The littlest screwdriver, and then it never worked.
Right, never worked. Right. And the old one, you just turned the little dial and the thing popped in your hand.
Yeah.
It was that simple, and they decided to go this route. Don't ask me why, but everything's getting easier, but batteries for hearing aids at the VA. But other than that, everything else is getting easier. So, and what you do is an easier thing, because you come and you can do from giving a quote to the move, to the pleasantries and the bonding. You're the face. You're the one who networks, not the big burly guys. And then getting it moved, and then unpacking, setting everything set up, and having the socks with the heel on the left folded in the drawer. So you can do all that stuff. And that's what people need. And that's what people
And some
really
people
need.
don't, but a lot of people do. And a lot of people, the kids live out of state. They can't help.
Yes.
They're working full time. That's been a lot of my clients so far too.
Yes. We just had a call today. The son just moved dad, and he wants to sell his house, and he lives in California, and he wants to sell dad's house in Queens. And dad's not capable of selling his own house, and dad's no longer, but now the house is sitting empty, no less. And they're worried about squatters and everything else. So without a doubt, it requires family, but it requires boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And you and I are the boots on the ground. So, question, is there anything I missed that I should have asked you? Anything you want, any details? Okay, then So what's the biggest takeaway you would want someone to get from this podcast?
Just that there's like for seniors and their families to know that there's so much out there. I mean, everyone knows that the baby boomer generation is aging,
Yes.
and the market is kind of getting ready for that.
Right.
So there is help.
Yes.
And it pleases me so much to be able to help a family and make it easier for them to move.
Right.
So just ask.
Just ask.
Just ask some of our networking
Right.
groups and our
Well, my
colleagues.
takeaway is kids don't think you have to do, but you have to coordinate. You have to be there for mom and dad, but you don't have to physically do the work. And I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears like it does with me.
Yeah.
What it did with my in-laws. But but that to me is very important. But so question, where can people find you?
Our website, and
Okay.
I can have my on LinkedIn. I'm
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I don't have an Instagram or
Okay.
Facebook personally, but
Right.
we do have, our company does.
And what is the website?
Movesforseniors.com.
I would have guessed that.
Yeah.
I was also on it this morning, so I'm cheating. The
larger company is TSI Shipping.
right,
So you can look at that too if you had shipping needs or long distance.
right. TSI shipping,
Mhm.
but for what we're talking about today, for the most
Moves
part,
for Seniors. Yeah.
movesforseniors.com. And Andrea Martone,
Mm-hmm.
thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Unlocking Senior Resources podcast by Leave the Key. If you've enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast. We specialize in working with seniors who are transitioning out of their homes, and we understand what you are going through. So if you are considering selling your home and would like an alternative to the traditional overwhelming process, reach out to see how we can help. When working with us, you can sell your home in its current condition, there is no need to remove unwanted items, and you control when the house is sold, along with so many other advantages. Visit leavethekey.com or call us at 631-388-7771 to learn more about our senior home buying process.